Right on cue. So, welcome to our Wednesday bootcamp class. As you know, I'm Quinn, your health fitness specialist. And today we're going to be going through our general sort of movements, kind of working through a full body routine, trying to get the heart rate up and pumping a little bit. We're going to start with a warm up with our knee hugs, going into our hamstring sweeps and our star rotations, finishing with glute bridges, driving our hips straight in the air, trying to work on a nice flat line, connecting shoulder through to knee. Then we're going to jump into our circuit, which is going to start off with some marches, going into some side lunges, then zombie kicks, and into air squats. And then for the upper body part, we're going to do pillar rotations, get our shoulders and our spine nice and moving, working together. We're going to do shoulder taps for a little bit of stability, and push-ups for strength, and then ITYs for some of that shoulder posture, really reinforcing that after a lot of tension through the front. We're going to go twice through that workout circuit, and then we've got a cool down. We're probably just going to do some hamstring stretch with some forward fold, a figure four pigeon to knee hug, and then working into our thread the needle for the upper body. If you guys have any areas that are particularly tight today, you can go ahead and drop them in the chat now, and I'll make sure to incorporate that at the end of our workout so that you guys get a good stretch in. All right. First things first, we're going to go through our warm-up. So hopping into those knee hugs. We're going to lean down, grab the shin, and pull the knee up into a nice stretch through the hip and the glutes. Going side to side, just getting things warmed up and started. Nice, even pace. Couple more each side. Really scooping that shin up towards the chest. As we go back and forth here. All right. And finishing that, we're going to head into our hamstring sweeps. So bringing one foot out, pointing those toes up towards your face and the ceiling. You're going to reach the hands back up on the hips, sweeping down through the heel and standing up tall again. Getting nice big sweeps through as we come down and through here. Really reaching through the back side of that leg as we come all the way up. And switching sides. Getting those legs nice and warm. Sweeping all the way through and standing back up tall. And finishing up tall. Next up, we're going to do our star rotation. So getting our feet a little bit wider than hip width, getting our arms out to the side. We're going to rotate from side to side, giving a little twist through the ankle, swinging those arms around and through. Very nice sweeping motion, keeping those shoulders low and relaxed. And finish. All right. I'm going to scoot this box back just a little bit. Okay. Very good. All right, next up, we're going to do our glute bridges. So getting down onto your mat, last part of the warm-up here, we're just going to do a couple of glute bridge holds and get those glutes nice and active. So from here, you're going to drive the weight through your heels, getting your hips up, creating a nice straight line from your shoulders through the hips into the knee and holding up at the top. Getting nice, even drive through both heels. I'm not favoring one side or the other, but getting even 50-50 through the left and right heel. And lowering down, nice and slow. Getting that back flat on the ground and popping straight back up. Giving a nice hold at the top. Lowering back down, nice and slow. Last one, popping up. Holding and lowering back down. Good. Now that we've got our legs and our hips nice and warmed up, we're going to go into our marches. Okay, so standing with our feet hip width apart, we're going to drive one knee up, timers on, finding a nice even pace, driving those knees straight up, keeping our back nice and tall, chest proud, shoulders over hips, belly button sucked into the spine, activating the torso here, marching nice and tall. Few more seconds. Trying to bring those feet straight back down to where they started. Very good. Nice even pace. Keep going. Keep it up. Just a little bit longer. And rest. Good. Next up, we're going to start into our side lunges. So starting with our feet about hip width apart, we're going to step out to the side with one foot, lunge out, come back to middle, and use the same side to step out again. You can get 2 to 3 steps out and then switch sides. Really loading that leg over the midpoint of the foot. Moving back and forth. Trying not to shift weight too much from side to side, or forward to back, I mean. Obviously, you're going side to side here, but keeping that weight nice and even in one direction out to the side. Go ahead and rest. Next up, we've got our zombie kicks, okay? So, getting our feet hip width apart, keeping our chest nice and proud. We're going to kick the foot straight up, keeping that knee fully extended out. Getting those toes as high up as they'll go. Keeping the toes pointed towards me, so really showing the camera the bottom of your foot or your shoe. Going nice and even pace back and forth. Few more seconds. Almost there. And rest. Good. Next up, we've got our air squats. So really important here that we're focusing on hinging at the hips. So as we start our motion, we've got our feet hip width apart. We're driving those hips back, lowering back into the hips and the heels, trying to keep the weight over the midpoint of the foot. Keeping that chest nice and proud. Not letting our upper body kind of curl in and bring all of our weight forward onto the knees and the toes. That's how we create a lot of really unnecessary stress with this motion. You want to keep the weight back over the midpoint of the foot, almost into the heel. A few more seconds. And rest. Nice job. Next up, we're going into our pillar rotation. So getting down onto the mat, we're going to get our feet back into our pillar position. From here, we're going to rotate up, hold for about 3 seconds, and come back down. Rotating up the other side. Switching sides as we come through, finding a nice even pace, controlling that stability, locking it in, and switching sides. This can be a little bit easier if you widen up the feet. So the wider your feet are, the better base of balance you'll have through these rotations. Let's go, almost there. About 5 seconds left. And rest. Nice job. Next up, we've got our shoulder tap. So we're going to stay in that pillar position, having our hands underneath the shoulder, feet wide, getting our hips up and alternating back and forth. Between each shoulder, bringing hand to shoulder and back down. Trying to keep those hips nice and level. Belly button sucked up to the spine, engaging the torso. Couple more seconds here, keep it going. Still got some timer on. Nice, even pace. And rest. All right, next up, we've got our push-up. So, bringing the knees down, or you can extend the feet out. We're going to be doing our push-ups. This time, we're not going to do the eccentrics. We're just going to focus on speed here. So, getting a nice even pace, 2 seconds down, 2 seconds up. We're just going to lower the body down and press up. We've got about 30 more seconds going on here. Driving the body away, keeping those elbows tucked towards the ribs. Belly button sucked up to the spine. Keeping that back nice and flat. Not letting that stomach sink down. Rounding out our back. Let's go, a few more seconds. And rest. Good. Next up, we're going into our ITYs. Okay, so starting with our hands out in front, thumbs pointed up to the ceiling. We're going to bring the hands up into an I, holding up at the top and lowering down, coming 45 degrees out, popping up for a Y. And down, coming out to the side for our T's, thumbs staying up, pulling up and down, keeping those shoulders away from the ears, trying to pin them down, coming back up for the eyes. You want to try and pin the shoulders down towards the hips, so keeping them blown away, popping up for the eye. Coming down, coming out wide. We got our Y's. Down, out wide again, and up. Very good. All right, 50% there. Got through the first round of our circuit. Now we've got our marches again. So, standing up on our feet, feet hip width apart. We're going to drive the knees up to the chest. Getting a nice even pace, trying to keep our body in the same spot, bringing those feet down, straight to the same position. Nice even pace, driving those knees. Very good. Keep it up. About 15 seconds left. Keep going. Keep driving those knees. And rest. Very good. Next up, we're going to get into our side lunges. So getting onto one side, starting feet hip width apart. We're going to step out to the side, lunge down, bring those feet back to middle, keeping that weight over the midpoint of the foot as we come side to side here. Getting that weight up, keeping our chest nice and proud, not rounding out the back. Nice, even pace from side to side. Let's go a few more seconds. And rest. Very good. Next up, we've got our zombie kicks. So returning back to middle, getting those feet underneath our hips. We're going to be extending out, showing the camera the bottom of the shoe, keeping that leg completely straight as we swing up, chest nice and proud. Nice tall body. I'm not rounding out as I bring that foot up, or at least trying not to anyways. Keeping that chest nice and tall. I'm not reaching forward down to my kicks, but just trying to stay nice and tall through these kicks here. Almost done. And rest. Nice job. Okay, next up, we have our air squats. So feet hip width apart. Starting by driving those hips back and down, keeping the weight over the midpoint of the foot, almost into the heels like we're sitting back into a chair. We can extend the hands out as a counterbalance for our weight coming back into our hips and to keep that weight over the midpoint of the foot. Nice even pace through both sides of the feet. Again, pressing 50-50, back up, lowering 50-50, left and right through the foot, not favoring one side over the other here. Couple more seconds. And done. Nice job. Heading down to our mat, we've got our pillar rotations. So, hands down below the shoulder, feet coming wide. We're rotating up towards the ceiling, holding up at the top, locking that stability in, and switching sides. Keeping those shoulders pulled low and away from the ears. Keeping that chest over the hands as we come back down. Moving back and forth. Almost there, a few more seconds. And done. Good. Next up, we have our shoulder taps. So staying in that pillar pose. We're going to get the chest over the hands again, bringing those feet out wide and alternating. Hand to shoulder. Nice, even, quick motions, keeping those hips level with the shoulder, belly button tucked up to the spine. Nice, even pace here. You can bring your feet together to get more challenging if you'd like. Just got a few more seconds here. Really push it. Almost done. And rest. Good. Next up, we've got our push-ups. So getting those knees down to the ground or feet extended back. We're going into our push-up, lowering the chest down in between the hands, keeping those ribs pinned to our elbows, keeping our belly button sucked up to the spine, not letting our back round out as we lower down. And even press through. Trying to come up even through both sides here. Nice, steady pace. Few more seconds. And down. Good. Last little bit of work here. We've got our ITY. So hands out in front, thumbs pointed up to the ceiling. Pulling the shoulders down towards the hips. We're going to pop the hands up. Holding up at the top for our eyes. Coming back down, extending out to 45 degrees. Popping up for a Y. Keeping those shoulders pulled away from the ears. Squeezing orange to our back. Coming down for our T's. Popping up. Holding up to the top. Imagine you've got an orange on the back. Extending up for eyes. And every time you pop up, you're trying to squeeze that orange in the middle of your back. That's how you want to move your shoulder blades together. Out for Y's. Holding and down. Last one, out for T's. Up. Holding and lowering down. Very good. Nice job, you guys. Finishing up our workout portion of the boot camp. Now we're going to head into our cool down, getting a little bit of stretching in. First thing we're going to do is a seated forward fold. So standing nice and tall with your toes pointed up, knees pulling into the ground so you got their legs nice and straight. You're going to reach the hands forward as you slide them along the shins, grabbing the ankles and really pulling into those hamstrings in the lower back there. Really trying to keep those legs straight. It's not about how far you can reach, but where you hit tension with your knees straight. So a lot of people will reach super far and their knees will come up like this. That's not really lengthening the hamstring. You got to keep those knees straight so we can work with a good hip hinge through straight legs. Straight legs get a lot of strength. So really keep those knees pulled down into the floor. Getting nice deep breaths through. And relaxing out. Next up, we're going to go into our figure 4 glute stretch. So you're going to fold one knee and bring it up onto the other knee. Sorry, fold one leg and bring the ankle up onto the other knee, like so. Then bending that straight knee, you're going to bring that leg up towards your chest, and you can start walking your hands in towards the knee to try and bring your shin and your chest together. You should feel a stretch all through the outside of the hip as we work through there. Nice deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Telling those muscles to relax, calm down, let the tension you're feeling. It's okay. At this length, it's okay. Go ahead and switch sides. Holding that knee onto our leg, ankle onto our leg, and getting our hands back. And bringing that chest towards the shin. Feeling that all along the outside. And relaxing out. Getting those legs nice and extended. All right, next one. We're just going to go into our thread the needle here. So into a quadruped position. We're going to reach one arm underneath the chest, across and through, holding that shoulder down and getting a nice stretch through the back. From here, we're going to rotate up and bring that hand up towards the ceiling, reaching nice and tall, and switching sides. Lowering that other shoulder down, getting a nice stretch through the back. As we hold here. And from here, we're going to rotate up, twisting up and extending all the way up. And coming back down. Getting a couple of rotations to the shoulder. Loosening up our back again. And finishing out our session. All right, thank you guys so much for hopping in today. I'm your health fitness specialist, Quinn, as you all know. Really appreciate you guys hopping into classes. Don't forget to check out our Design to Run training program. We're hosting that this month, all the way through April and into May. So it'll be starting at the end of this month, going through April, all the way through May. We've got a lot of really great programs figured out for you guys. Get you in great running shape for anything that you need. Thanks again for hopping in.
Thanks, Quinn. See ya.